How to find cash buyers. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Liran Koren. Today I'm gonna come up with a beautiful tip for you, and I think everybody needs to know about it. Not just cash buyers, how to find serious cash buyers. Those are actually have the money and can pay and are ready to buy properties right away. How can you find people with cash, people who are serious, people who wants to buy properties right away? One of the things that I do is basically I look at the people who goes and buy properties at the auction, and by that I know that they're spending a lot of money. They're buying cash obviously, and they're buying a very risky investment. So anybody who participated in the auction does riskier investments because they're buying properties without title insurance. And those people I consider to be a more savvy investors, because they buy properties basically without title insurance, and they need to bring the value in order to create equity. And this is the people I'm concentrating today. And I've been in the auction for about 10 years, and you can see here in my screen right now. I'm gonna walk you through, and I'm gonna show you exactly what kind of information you can get when basically going to the auction website. So right now, just to clarify things, I'm at the realforecloseauction.com. Realforeclose.com website is basically a website that allows you to participate in several counties in Florida at the auction. So if I'll go over here, I will see that I have so many counties I can go into, and I can just participate and bid on properties. So if I will go to Hillsborough, for example, to Duval County, and let's say I want to go to actually Duval tax deed sale, I can also go here. And if I go to calendar, I would see all the sales that happen in that county. And same thing I can do for any other county. If I go to Broward County, for example, Broward foreclosures, this is the county where I participate. You can see that you can search by auction results, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing here. I'm showing you exactly how can I get people who would be very interested. They would be very, very interested to hear about your deal. So if you have a deal, if you want to assign something, if you're a wholesaler, if you have something you want to convey to another buyer, this is one of the things I do in order to find them. So I'll go ahead and I can search for the last month of people who won properties at the auction that were not me basically, and it was sold to third parties. And when I search for it, it comes up as you can see here, they spent about $12 million, right? Just in the last month. They spent about $12 million in buying properties straight from the auction without title insurance. Those investors are very savvy investors. I've been participating in the auction for 10 years buying properties without title insurance. And this is where people are actually bidding on properties for cash without speculations. They're not wholesaling the properties. They're taking the risk themselves. The way it works is as you bid on a property, 5% goes from your auction account, is being withdrawn immediately, and the rest of the 95% you have to come up the next day and pay for that property. So what is this information even helps me? What is this data means for me, right? As a real estate investor, as somebody who is trying to connect the dots together and create a business, I know I need people who have the capacity of buying properties, and I know I need investors who would actually trust me with my deals and be my vendors in terms of conveying properties to them. And that's one of the things that I'm focusing on, is basically finding the most quality investors you can find on the market. And not just that, those investors are ready to buy. That it's not speculation. They have the money. You can see that they participate on a regular basis. You can see that being in the auction for a couple of years, maybe a couple of months, and you can see their successes and you can see their losses. And at that point, if they are still at the auction, then they must be doing okay. And when I come to them and I actually offer them my off-market deal, which can be even better than the auction prices sometimes, then I know as a fact that I have a lot of buyers that are interested to buy my property at all times. Meaning I'm not gonna spend a lot of time, right, trying to look for a buyer. We wanna eliminate that process. We wanna eliminate the process of finding a buyer, right? Because if you find a deal today, you want to convey that deal, you want to assign that deal to somebody else as soon as possible, and you don't want to start looking for people from that point. You want to have people lined up, ready to buy, that you can convey value to. So what am I doing? How am I finding my target audience? Let's say I want to sell a building, right? And I'm looking for a couple of great investors who want to join up with me on that venture. The only place I'm gonna go to find those people, I'm gonna go to the auction website and I'm gonna search the people who want, for example, properties for the last month in Broward County. Now, remember, there are so many counties here that we can target in that website. You can go to almost any county in Florida and you can see the people who have been participating in the auction, and you can see which properties they bought, and you can see what type of investors they are. So you can basically profile them, based on facts, and not based on, hey, I'm a cash buyer, I buy everything. Wow, what's your budget? 1 million to 10 million. But in reality, he never done a deal in his life. So we don't want people who think they can do deals. We don't want people who dream about making deals, and we don't want people who have cash but don't use it. We want to talk with people who are buying all the time and have the necessity of buying, not just the will of buying. They have the necessity because they actually think about it as a business. They know they have to move product, and they don't care about a 15% profit or 20% profit. They care about volume and they care about speed. And this is the people you need to talk to. So if I'm looking right now with the people who actually participated in the auction, people who bought properties at the auction, I can actually see them over here. As you can see, it tells you what date they bought the property. It tells you the case number of that property. It also shows you the parcel ID, meaning you can actually go to the BCPA, to the property appraisal, and you can get to see the property that the person bought, and you can kind of analyze it and see if it was a good deal, a bad deal, or you can kind of profile this investor. And the way the bidder number works, basically, it goes by short numbers to long numbers. So the shorter numbers are aged investors, and the new numbers are new investors, like this, for example. These people are new investors who just came up to the auction and start bidding. My auction ID, for example, just to show you, is 7064. When I open my auction account, I basically open it when before the online auction was even available. So I was one of the first people to get an auction ID, and that's what I did. So this way you can see all these people here that are buying properties, and you can actually get their information. So if I go even 1 year back, only in Broward County, so we're looking at only one county right now. Bear in mind, we're looking at only one county. And when we are searching, look at that result. $141 million worth of purchase power. $141 million worth of purchase power in the last month in Broward County, Florida. Only in Broward County, Florida. But remember, we have 3,000 counties in America. And in Florida, we have tens and tens and tens of counties. And every single day, there are new bidders who wants to spend money. And what are you going to do about it? Can you do something about it? Now I'm going to show you my trick. Are you ready? So I developed a script, basically, that what I do is I try to get all the contact information of those bidders as soon as the information is populated. So I can basically run a search from 2 months ago to today, and then in a week I can run another search that is going to compare me the data that I found against the old data to find out who are the new bidders. Who are the new bidders who joined the auction, who never participated in the auction, all of a sudden came and start bidding. And I'm gonna compare them against my old list. Every time I run my list, I compare them against my old list, and it gives me an output of the new bidders that are coming into the market. People I can actually convey value to. And how does it work, and how do I outreach these people? So first of all, we are looking at the data. The data is very, 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 very important to understand. The data is one of the most important things to understand, and that's the reason why I'm actually taking you from the source. I'm showing you the auction website, and I'm showing you the searches. If you click here, you can see the bidding information. You can see the company name here. So you have all the information, right? If you want to see who is this person, right? What do you have to do? You have to go to Sunbiz, which is a corporation website where people register for LLCs, and you can do a search. And you can find that person, and you can see, oh, great, that person, Teda or Allah or whatever, they actually live in Plantation, and here's their mailing address. So I already have their mailing address. I know where they live. I know the name. I know when they opened their company. I know the company name. So I know this information. And I can outreach to these people. Now, outreaching to these people is one of the most important things because you can create all sorts of businesses, okay? If you are a wholesaler and you have a product to sell to these people, you can do that. If you're doing renovations, if you're doing title searches, if you're doing closings, if you're doing all kind of things that are related to their processes, you can actually come along and offer your value, right? So what am I doing with these people? I'm actually giving them two things. I'm giving them education, and I'm showing them how to do things better at the auction, and I'm also advising them and consulting them in what properties to bid on, what properties not to bid on, and this way I either help them make money or save money. And that's the ultimate goal when participating in the auction. So I know who are these people, and I know that they are buying properties, and I have this information that they were bidding on a $255,000 property here, and for me, it's already a lot of information because I can profile my investors and I can outreach to them in an appropriate way or with an appropriate product. So they are going to be very happy to work with me, right? And this is the properties that the person was bidding on, and you can see, and you see that people are active. So we want to get this information, right? We want to get their information. If I could get when I look at this data, I'm thinking to myself, if I could get all of these people's information, right, every single day, and compare the data that I'm receiving every single day against the old data to find out who are the new participants who joined the auctions in Florida, not just in Broward County. So think about it like this. I'm gonna scan my data. Right now I'm gonna show you how I scan my data, and I'm gonna take you step by step, right? What data am I seeing here? And it's very important that you're gonna understand, and I'm gonna even start from the beginning. I'm just gonna clear my spreadsheet, and I'm gonna show you the idea of what I'm doing here with this data and how you can turn it into profit, of course. So as I said before, I'm going to scan, okay? Let's say I'm gonna scan from January this year. Or actually, you know what, let's keep it simple. Let's do the last 5 days. I'm gonna scan for the last 5 days of people who participated at the auction in all of the counties in Broward, in Florida, not just Broward County. I'm talking to you about all of the counties that are in realforeclose.com website, right? If I go over here, you will see that I can jump into all kind of counties. Whatever county you're interested in, you can read the rules, whatever, agree. And you can participate. I didn't participate in this county, but you can go ahead and participate in so many other countries. For example, I participated in Hillsborough County. I like this county, Tampa, this area. So you can actually go and do the same thing, right? The same exact thing that I was doing in Broward County, and go to auction results, and you can search for a bidder information on time or date, who bought the property and when. It was sold to none, and it was actually sold to, it wasn't sold to me, but it was sold to third party. And I can do a search, and as you can see, I can get the same information with the name of the bidder, where they live, and all that stuff. I can find out using the Sunbiz, and then I have a contact information. How beautiful is that? I have a buyer who has cash, who is buying properties, who is participating and bidding on properties, And if I have something, some value I can convey him, I also know where to reach him. And not just that, I know how to reach them very, very, very quickly. And I'm going to show you the process right now in how to get an advantage over your competition, how to actually perfect your processes, automate them, and make sure you have an advantage over your competition. Because if somebody else is going to do the same thing I do, I want to be faster than him and I want to be more efficient than him, right? I didn't invent the wheel, but I'm going to invent something that is going to create an edge for me over my competition, right? Even if you thought about doing the same thing I'm doing right now, how would be more efficient, faster, and that way I can prevail and have more business than anybody else. And the way it works is very, very simple. I prepared a script that what it does, it goes to all of those websites as I showed you, and he scans for people who participated at the auction, and then it takes the information into Excel, and then also manipulate the information by trying to find the name of the company in Sunbiz, in the corporation website, so we can actually find the address of where the bidder is living, and we can do an outreach to these people. So I'm just gonna walk you through like an import auction result search one time. So when I click on that, as you can see, it starts moving very, very quickly. And I'm getting right now all of the sales that happened from 1st of March to 6th of March. We're talking about just a couple of days this week. We're talking about this week's activity at the auction. And you can clearly see that people are buying properties at the auction on a regular time, and you can clearly see that there are a lot of people who actually buy more than one property, and we're gonna look at that in a second after the script is gonna continue running. So we are looking at all the people. You see how the counties are coming? All the people who participated this week at auction anywhere in Florida. So look at this power, look at this strength of information that I have right now. If I want to target these people, if I want to get cash buyers, if I want to know people who buy properties at the auction, if I want to get to know people who has properties, who has portfolios, who has, who are doing the same thing I'm doing, buying properties at the auction, I just do it a little bit better, I think, because I've been doing it for 10 years and I am perfecting my processes. I can actually convey my value to all of these people. There are a lot of people who are making a lot of mistakes, and I showed you a couple of videos how people are losing tens of thousands of dollars just because they don't know how to do a title search, or just because they're buying the wrong position, the wrong lien, or just because they don't understand anything about violations and stuff like that, or renovations. So I showed you their mistakes, and at the same time I can come up and convey my value to them through education or through consultancy or through actually managing their properties, right? And making sure they're gonna do the right thing by having this information, having all these people who participate at the auction every single day. I'm not gonna miss any new participant that comes to Florida and wants to buy properties at the auction. If he's gonna register or if he's gonna win a property at the auction, I'm gonna know about it, and I'm gonna know that he's a new buyer, he's a new bidder. I'm gonna know how to profile these people and how to convey my message to them. And I'm gonna show you afterwards what do I do with the data and how I convey messages to people, how I outreach these people, and how I create businesses just like that from using data and automation. So let's jump into the data right now, and I'm gonna show you exactly what's going on in this Excel spreadsheet and what are we looking at. So as I said, we're looking at the county. Every county that we are scanning, we are getting the results. We're getting also the sell dates. Remember, we scan for 1st of March to the 6th of March. So the auction starts on Tuesday. So I guess they're giving us 3rd of March, right? And they're telling us all the people who want properties on 3rd of March to 5th of March in Broward County. They're giving you the case number, which I can go to the docket and I can check. They're giving you the folio information, which you can go to the BCPA or the property appraisal for that county and check which property they bought. They're also telling you the number, the price they bought the property, so it's very easy for you to do comps for them. If maybe they made a mistake and they bought something that doesn't make sense, you can come along and save the day. You can say, hey, you bought something horrible, don't pay for that. By doing that, you can save somebody $30,000, $40,000, $100,000, and that's gonna create a lot of value for you because you're gonna be trusted. You're gonna be a team player for somebody who is interested, to create a business and needs this information from you. This is a 5% deposit. This is the deposit that comes off the auction account immediately after you purchase a property, after you buy a property. Here is the balance you have to come up the next day. This is what you have to come up the next day. So it's very important to kind of like understand. You're buying a property at the auction, 5% goes immediately from your auction account, and then you have 1 day to come up with the rest of the money. In Broward County is until 12 o'clock. So if you're buying a property today, tomorrow you have to pay it by 12 o'clock at noon. And if you're not coming with the money, you lost your 5% and the sale is gonna come back to the auction. And that's the regular process. And also you can see here the clerk fees that the clerk is taking, the doc stamps, that's gonna be the total due. Bidder ID, every bidder has a different ID. My bidder ID is 7064. I started 10 years ago, that's why my bidder ID is a short number. It means that I'm started a long time ago. And you have the bidder name here, as we looked at that before. You have the bidder name here. And as you can see, that's one of the properties we actually look together and we find the information. When I started this clip, I showed you how I searched this property, and as you can see here, you can find out where that person lives. And I think we show it over, let's see, and Zombies. So if we take that company name basically like we did before, and I'm gonna go to Zombies right now, which is the corporation website, and I want to know who this entity belongs to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just search for it, and my script, what it does, you see this information, Allah. What my script does, it puts that information automatically, and you can see I have the same information that I need. 1842 North University Drive Plantation. So I have the mailing address of that person is split to first name, last name, address, city, state, and zip. And I'm gonna show you how am I targeting this person using that data, right? You can do a mail merge using this data. You can say, hi, I saw that you bought a property in Broward County at the sell date, right? 5th of March, at 5th of March. I think the case number was case number. Then I saw that you bought it for that, but you can use all these fields, right, on your Excel spreadsheet in mail merge when you produce letters. When you send out letters to those people, you can actually use those variables, use those data to actually personalize your letter, and that's the idea. Do you want to personalize your letter? You want more conversion. You wanna make sure the person who received that letter feels that letter was intended for him. That you're not just mass mailing somebody, that you are particularly contacting that person because you saw him bidding in that county at that date, and you know he bought that property at that price. So this is not something you can just come up as a general message and say, hey, I buy properties for cash, oh, I saw you bought properties at the auction, call me. No, you want to come up with a story in each and every letter that you can then connect, okay, with that person, meaning that he's going to give you a call, meaning that, he's going to find that you are trustworthy, meaning that he's going to feel that, there is a reason for him to give you a call, and not just mass mailing, mass messaging. And that's the reason why I'm showing you here those fields, because those fields helps you a lot when you contact somebody with a very particular question or information or things that, other people don't know about him. You gain authority, immediately against other people who are trying to do the same. So you are actually doing it better and creating more trust. So as you can see, I have all the information already here, and my Zambi is already translated into that. And what I need to do next, basically, is I have to convey my message to those cash buyers. I have to convey my message to them. Only question is what I want to tell them. Do I have a property for sale? Do I want to teach them how to buy properties at the auction? Do I want a partnership with them? Do I want to send them to my website? Do I want to send them to my YouTube? Do I want to give them support in doing title searches? Do I want to support their system by doing their renovations, bringing the property up to codes, bringing the properties up to marketable and sellable conditions. Maybe they want me to manage the properties, right? I have a lot of knowledge resolving issues and title issues, and I'm also an investor. So why wouldn't I just manage the properties? And I walk you through that. I will help them walk them through from buying the property at the auction to renovating it, selling it, or renting it, and then stabilizing. So I have a lot of value to give to these people. The only question you need to ask yourself when you contact people, what is the value you can give to them and how you can convey that message? Very simple. You need to know about the data. You need to prepare your automation. You need to get advantage over your competition with your outreaching. But you also have to ask yourself, what is the value you have? How can you convey it into a message? And then how can you convert the client? What are you going to do when he's going to call you? So all of this information here that you're seeing here, as I'm showing you, I already have it on my Excel spreadsheet in a second. I didn't have to do a lot of things. At the same token, I can go and I can scrap information overall here, and then I can get even more information. So now let's take another example here. I'm going to clear that screen again. I'm going to show you another feature that I developed. So let's say I scan properties from February 1st to March 1st. And I'm actually gonna make it simpler, you know. I don't want it to take that long. So I'm gonna do February 20. I'm gonna do 10 days, and I'm gonna import those basically those participants like we did before. And now I'm gonna show you what am I doing in my next search, because I want to get the people. Let's say I took all the lists and I have all the people who bought this year. Tomorrow, if somebody new is gonna come up to the auction, I want to know about him. I want to know, I have a new participant, somebody who just got curious about the auctions. Call it a newbie. Call it somebody who has no experience, somebody who just joined the auction and said, oh, I want to buy properties, I think I can do it. You know, after 10 years of people buying properties at the auction, he wants to join and buy properties at the auction too. And he's new and he's fresh and it's his first time buying properties. And my job would be to actually recognize who these people are and add them to my list as I go along. So right now I search from 20th of February to 1st of March, and you can see all the lists that came up here. All the people, about 277 cases. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna search from another search. I'm gonna search from March 1st to March 6th. Let's say 6 days pass by, and I'm gonna import those auctions as well. And now it's gonna add up more bidders into that list, and then I would be able to kind of compare. I'm going to be able to compare the new bidders. I can filter new bidders, people who are actually buying to the auction, and I didn't have the data. So if I had a master list of 1,000 people and 1,000 company names and 1,000 addresses, and somebody just came up to the auction and bought a property, somebody who I didn't recognize before, my script is gonna tell me, hey, you have a new bidder. From all of your list, you have a new bidder. And that's that field over here. When I search for it, that actually filters the new bidders and it puts it over here. So that's exactly what am I doing. I'm having all the settings. I did it the way I wanna set it up. All the counties that I'm actually looking for here, you can see them here. I'm scanning them every single day, and I can go by date, and I can go by all that. And at the end of the day, I'm focusing on data. I'm focusing on fresh data that I'm not buying from anybody, data that I'm actually generating myself. And as you can see, this bidder, for example, is buying many properties. You can see that a lot of people are buying more than one property. And you can see how strong connection you can have with somebody who are a power purchaser, like people who are sitting in the auction every single day. So when I go and I just do just get information from the bidders themselves, Now it's processing the information. So it's going and scanning the Sunbees information, and it's giving me all company name, titles, all the things that I need. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna filter that list. I'm gonna clear that list. Oops, I made a mistake here. I just went down too far. Okay. The one thing I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to basically clean my list a little bit. So I'm going to remove people that I couldn't find for whatever reason. They were buying under their personal name, or they didn't pay for the auction, or it happens that people are participating and not even buying for it. And here I'm getting my clear list over here. And what am I gonna do next is I'm gonna eliminate duplicates, basically. I'm going to eliminate duplicates. I don't gonna have to contact this person, for example, bought a couple of properties, and you can see that. And I don't wanna contact them so many times. I know they're power purchaser. I know they're buying a lot of properties. But I don't wanna contact them 5 or 6 times. I'm gonna spend a lot of money and I'm gonna look ridiculous. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna filter those lists, and then I'm gonna prepare a way for you to see in how am I reaching out these people. What is my next stage? Okay, you got the data. What can you do with the data? There are a couple of things you can do with the data. I'm gonna tell you, there is something more conservative that I do is sending out my mail, and I do it in a very particular way. I do it in a very special way, in a very automated way as well. How to outreach people by sending out mail without leaving your chair, without leaving your computer, without touching any paper. And the second thing I do normally, sometimes, when I get bored, when I have some time, I actually look for these people. I'm taking the first name, last name, and I'm searching for them. I can either find them on Facebook, or can even find them on other social media platform. It doesn't cost me any money, and every day I'm taking my time and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna outreach to 10 people that I can find, sending a message, and guess what? At least 1 out of 10 people is getting back to me, either by Facebook or either by other means. And I'm actually, the first thing I do when they contact me is I convey value to them. You have to remember that. The first thing somebody contacts you, they want to know you are the real deal. They don't want to know that you are in business for a certain title or profession. They want to know how you can help them. Okay? They want you to be focused on them, not on you. You have to remember that. Even though you have all this skill set and all this experience and all this flipping experience, it's not interesting to nobody. What's interesting is how you can help that individual who is speaking with you right now, what kind of value you can bring them, and then how you can use that value to create businesses together. And that's gonna come from the other individual. Once you're gonna contribute your value, and if that person is gonna say, that's what I need, that's gonna be your conversion. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to actually contact people who are doing the same thing that I've been doing for the last 10 years and things that a lot of people are doing, and convey value to them. Tell them your title search is wrong, your renovations are too expensive, you're buying the wrong position or possession on the property in title. All these things that I can sniff in a second, right? That I can check just by getting a property address. That's the value I can convey to people who are asking themselves questions at the auction that they don't even know, and even their attorney cannot answer to them because they don't have the experience. So that's the value we are giving to these people. These people are power purchasers. As I told you, only in Broward County the last month they spent $14 million to buy properties. And how you can take advantage of that, that's something that it's very obvious, because if you're looking for anybody to partner with, and you're looking for people who are in real estate, and you're looking for people who have cash and are buying properties as a fact, right? You should look at the auction, because it's not speculative. If you win a property, you're gonna have to pay for it. 5% is gonna come up your account anyway, and 95% you have to come up the next day. So it's not a joke. It's not something you can go on contract and just play with everybody, right? And wear down everybody just because you want to get a lower price. No, you're going to have to make a very, very, very firm decision of what you're willing to pay and if you can do it or not, if you have the value to bring to that property, because there is no speculation, there is no backing out from a deal here. It's either you lose 5% and buying the property or you move on with your life. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how am I reaching people, how am I outreaching people, right? How am I outreaching those people in order to create deals very, very quickly and very, very, very efficiently. So just to conclude this video, I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it kind of like opened your mind a little bit about how to find cash buyers using the auction and how to manipulate the data of the auction and use it for your own advantage, right? To get connection, to get people who are interested to buy the properties from you, or people who wanted to make business with you in the future. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm encouraging you all to leave a question, leave a comment, press on the like button, share it, ask me something. If you liked it, if you think it was good information, I really appreciate it if you like this video and share it. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you. I'll see you in the next tip. Thank you and happy investing.